Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? So check this out. It's Motivational Monday. I haven't posted in a couple of days because I've really been like sick. I don't know what's going on, right? But I was really feeling like down and ill. And I started to think, right? I was like, man, I do so much for a lot of people. And, sometimes it feels like a lot of, I can count on my hands, what I'm saying, pretty much the people that call and check up on me. I ain't talking about getting no news, but I'm talking about actually being like, hey, you good? Everything all right with you, right? And I started to get into a funk, right? Like I started to get into like one of those what the young people would say, those crash out moments. And I wanted to just make a statement and just crash out. But in that moment, I really started to think, right? And I really started to be like, you know what? Sometimes isolation is the soil that's needed for you to grow. And what I mean by that is sometimes you can have so many things going on, so many distractions, right? That you never really get a chance to grow. And what I had to do with myself is I had to look into the mirror and be like, am I really upset? Like, am I really upset? Because your first inclination to do something is to be upset, right? That's a normal human process, right? You get angry. That's just normal. It's what you do after that. What you do after that, right? Like, do you crash out? Do you start making these type of statements online that, what I'm saying, indirect and this, that, and the other, right? And I really was just looking at myself and I'm like, am I really upset? Or am I in a position to where I feel like I should be upset? You see, a lot of times people take that word crash out and some people take it as a good thing, right? Something happens to them and we're human beings. So you get anger. That is your first line of defense, to get anger. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people take that and they start off a status with, I'm about to crash out. Then you got these segment of people that's like, yeah, like crash out. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people just want to know something's going on because it makes them take the responsibilities off of what they got going on, right? So they cheer you on to crash out. The prison is full of people that crashed out. The cemetery is full of people that crashed out. But a lot of times people don't understand that crashing out is not just that. You see, sometimes we act upon things that we think is for us, and we don't even go to God about it, right? That's a form of crashing out. God didn't tell you to quit that job and apply for all of this other job. No, that's a you thing, right? So because you are tired at that job right now and you have no patience, you just quit. Man, I'm quitting this, that, and other. Now 6 months you've been unemployed. And the next thing you do is you talk about how God ain't hearing your prayers and blah, 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 blah. Now you're looking at everybody else that's being blessed. And you, instead of taking ownership that God did not tell you to quit that job. You see, a lot of times crashing out is that. Crashing out is not just the, okay, I'm about to do this or the physical, this, that, and other. Crashing out is just not listening to God. Just flat out not listening to God and listening to yourself. Or you listening to somebody prophesying on your life. And I'm a firm believer of this, right? And, my grandparents used to always tell me this, right? I don't know if it's something that they learned back in the day. You got to watch who put their hands on you. And I live by that, right? Because you don't know what's going on in that person's life. That's why you have to have the ability to pray for yourself. I welcome all prayers. But what I'm talking about is when you solely are depending on that quote unquote prophet to prophesy into your life, you don't know what he got going on. Now, years later down the line, you find out that he's been wrapped up in some stuff, right? And what's the first thing you do? You don't blame the man, you blame God. Then you have this segment of people that say, man, I don't need to go to church, man. I got my personal relationship with God, this, that, and other. That's all fine and dandy. Right? But just like for me going to the gym, I got a gym at my house. I made my garage a gym, right? And it suits me fine. Well, it did suit me well during the COVID season. That's why I did it, right? But what I found out was I need that gym environment. I need to be in the environment that everybody else is putting in 110%, right? Because that does something to me, and that makes me want to go harder. And that's what being surrounded by people that have the same faith structure as yourself, it just boosts you up. And it sometimes I'd be thinking when people be like, I have a relationship with God and you know what I'm saying, this, that, and other, perfectly fine. But what I'm saying is for the people who say they have a relationship with God, but they ain't even got a relationship with themselves. That's why I say, you know that you have made progress when you can look in that mirror and you can see your flaws for what they really are. Lord willing, Friday will be my birthday. You know what I'm saying? And I will be 45 years old. And, this is my first birthday without, my grandparents. And every, my birthday that I can remember, my grandma would call me and, she'd sing me happy birthday, right? And the thing is she did it all the time, right? So it came a point in time that it was just expected. You know what I'm saying? My phone ring is about 6 a.m. I know it's going to be her. And I expected it. So this is the first birthday where, it's just like, man, those little small things mean so much in the big scale of things, right? And because it's my birthday coming up, I had to really think. I was just in my feelings. That's all it was. I had to look at myself and be like, am I really upset or am I just in my feelings? And the truth is, I'm just in my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm human. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in my feelings. And that's okay. So my motivational thought for today is look in the mirror, man, and really search you. Really search you. Because there's a segment of people that's getting up this morning, going to that job, and they have every excuse in the book on why such and such and such is happening. But sometimes you are the common denominator. Sometimes it's you leaning on your own understanding. See, sometimes, God wanted you to be lonely. Like, God wanted you to have this moment to learn you. But guess what you do? You keep chasing around a person that God is trying to separate you from. Right? You keep chasing around, so you never learn the lesson. That's on you. So you have to look at yourself and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? If you're not progressing in your career, you got to sit back. Stop blaming that, oh, this person got favoritism, this, that. No, look in the mirror and see, what position do you play in it? If you're not succeeding relationship-wise or this, that, and other, look in the mirror and say, what is it about me? See, it's easy to blame other people. And we have this generation is the generation that wants to blame any and everybody but themselves. Everything is because of the man and this, that, and other. And I'm not trying to say that that's not, accurate in some aspects. But when you put the focus on the why not, you never will. You never will. We sitting up here talking about, oh man, the bill that just passed, and now you passing off this energy to your kids. Oh man, it's about to be messed up. All this, that, and other, right? Well, it's messed up for you right now. You know why? Because you ain't right up here. You ain't right up here. And what this generation is lacking is faith. And the crazy thing about it is you have a segment of people that's saying, oh no, this generation's about that action. This generation ready to crash out. Well, guess what? Crash out it shall. So anyways, man, I hope y'all have a great, wonderful Monday, man. And thank y'all for supporting me as always.
Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.